But what you're kind of talking about is not like trying to just get an NES or get a whole handheld version of an NES, but there's actually differentiation between a lot of these things. Like, you're not just buying the same console 9 times because you have a problem. You're buying this 9 different consoles because you have a problem.
Well, yeah, and like I'll buy one because it's like, oh, here's a really cheap like Game Boy Micro sized device that can play, you know, Super Nintendo and even a little bit of PlayStation reasonably well, and for like a cheap price. And that's just kind of a really neat novelty. But then, you know, over the years, they, you know, it kind of running along in parallel with the advent of single board computers like Raspberry Pi and Pocket Chip, if you remember that one. And, you know, and as those get more powerful, new versions of these handhelds come out that run things a little bit better. Some of those are Android based. Some of those have a custom Linux distribution that they run on them. And each one has different compatibility.
Which means that you're not restricted to just playing one game or one type of game or even games in general. You could be doing other stuff on top of them. And the other thing I think that's cool about these bootleg handhelds is they tend to be much cheaper than a formal console. I mean, you're probably forking out $400 or so for a Switch if you're buying a game and maybe a controller and one accessory or something. Whereas a lot of these handheld consoles, you can get them for under $100 pretty easy, right? I mean...
Yeah. There's... the only times they seem to get north of $100 is when the RG350 that Ambernick made, that they released a version of it that was like a solid aluminum case and like really nice build quality and things like that, and that tends to jack up the price. But when you're just talking about a handheld console that running a specific chip, $100 is the north end.